CDOT here on the penalty kill, on each of the penalty kills. Looking real good with that glove. Very confident in his second consecutive start. Again, last night, CDOT faced 33 shots and allowed 5 goals.
Hat tricks here in the first period. 6 minutes to go. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but we are now live on YouTube. Behind the net, Anderson. In the offensive zone, Atwell fires. It's blocked out high, crumbling to the ice. Williams, and the Prowlers able to get it to center. Under 6 to play in the first. No score. Hat tricks killing a couple penalties so far. And they're now trying to get some momentum back in this game and some rhythm. Across neutral ice, it's the Prowlers, right to left. Johnson loses the puck as he enters the hat-trick zone. Mealy turns back the other way. Steve up the right wing. At the right circle, leaves it to his brother, top of the slot. Tom, left circle, fires in. Stopped by Harney.
There was an opportunity, and boy, Tom Mealy gets crushed twice to the ice, and now Graham jumps, or no, that's Johnson that jumped on top of him, and Steve goes to brother Tom's defense. Little brother, or younger brother, trying to protect older brother, and now Tom wrestles Johnson to the ice, got him from behind, and we're going to see some penalties here. That started behind the play. Mealy probably got away with a little neutral zone interference, and Johnson didn't like it as Johnson was trying to scramble back into the play, and that opened up the fresh ice for Tom Mealy to hop into the play, accept the feed from his brother, and get a good scoring opportunity. So then afterwards, when the whistle blew, Johnson went after Tom Mealy, and that's what started that whole ruckus. And right now we see Steve Mealy is in the box for Danbury. Look like Lambden is in the box, I believe, for Port Huron. So the two guys that started it all, Johnson for Port Huron and Tom Mealy for Danbury, neither one of them is in the penalty box. 2 other guys are instead. For a comfortable stay with great amenities, the only choice is the La Quinta by Wyndham in Danbury. As for the Hat Tricks friends and family rate, you can't beat it. La Quinta. So they're doling out the penalties here. I would think that this would be evened up. And let's see. Well, now Johnson's going to the box as well. So could this be a Danbury power play, or is Tom Mealy going to get called to the penalty box as well? Langdon's in there. Now Johnson's going there as well. Steve Mealy's actually out of the box. Oh, I see. Here we go. Now Tom Mealy will head in, and that makes a little bit more sense to me.
Maybe they got confused. They look pretty similar.
They are brothers, you know.
They are brothers. So it's 2 for the Prowlers, 1 for the Hat Tricks. It's going to be a Hat Tricks power play. 2 minors against the Prowlers, 1 against the Hat Tricks. Hat Tricks had power play number 2 on the night.
Yes.
And it is 1 for 5 so far on the season.
We'll wait for the official calls. They come at 14:39. And Johnny Ruiz will take the faceoff on the power play.
He wins it back to the point, near side, fluttered over the net. Kasich behind will take over. 10 seconds into the man advantage, 5-10 in the period. The Ferrer Electric power play for the Hat Tricks. Kasich in the far corner. Steers ahead to the left circle. Ruiz to the point. Atwell, center point, comes to the near side. Bunnell, cross ice, far ring. Ruiz winds, blast, it's blocked. Kasich has the rebound in the corner. 30 seconds into the man advantage. Kasich behind the net, circling to the near side. Bunnell at the near ring. All the way center point, Atwell back to Bunnell. Right circle, fires through everyone. Bounces out towards center, and now Levac will take over right to left. Short-handed, stripped by Ruiz. Coming back on the back check. 1:15 left on the power play. Ruiz cutting in, leaves it to the right wing for Kasich. He'll backhand in deep. The clear attempt along the far side, stopped by Ruiz at the dasher. Down low behind the net, Kuznetsov. A hat trick last night, Kuznetsov. Almost was going to try the Michigan, it looked like there, but cut back, and now Ruiz, far side, one-timer, out in front. Harney couldn't find the rebound. The hat tricks find it. Bottom of the left circle, Kasich to Ruiz at the dasher. Down low behind the net, Bunnell. Ruiz left circle. Pushes down low. Bunnell, right side. Kuznetsov, one-timer, bottom of the circle. Blocked. Atwell can't keep it in. It's cleared down. 35 seconds to go on the power play for Danbury. And it is an outlet up the left wing. Steve Mealy can't find it. Port Huron clears down the ice. Kilcheski in his own zone. Starting the last rush for the Hat-Tricks. 15 to go on the power play. 3:35 in the period. Across the zone, Mealy, center for Anderson, is stick to the corner. 5 seconds to go on the man advantage. Finberg working in the corner. Takes the puck for the Hat-Trick. Cutting back. Leaving it all the way to the point. Far side, Kilcheski winds, fires, tips, and it deflected wide into the corner. Out to even strength now. The Prowlers kill it off all the way down the ice. Kilcheski in the far corner, overskates, now banks it ahead, but Lambden steers right back into the far corner. Hat-Trick zone to the left. 3 minutes to play in the first. Turnover from the Hat-Tricks. Comes all the way around to the near side. White Duck, and now Daniluk able to outlet Finberg across the Prowlers line. Left circle, drops it for Anderson. At the circle, his snapper tipped out of play over the net. 2:49 to play in the first, no score. Glad to have you with us here. We're finally back up on YouTube. And we apologize for the technical difficulties. Back at it here, and Hat-Tricks, Prowlers, scoreless here. Under 3 to go in the first.
Faceoff will be to the right of Greg Harney, making his professional debut, a 26-year-old rookie. For those joining us a little bit later, joining the stream a little bit late, Cooper Cedot getting the start for Danbury, making his second consecutive start after making 28 saves last night in Danbury's 7-5 victory. And, we were just talking about the Mealy brothers getting in the melee. Say that 5 times fast. Mealy and the Mealys in the melee. But boy, they came up big last night. You talk about veteran guys coming through for you at clutch times. This game was 5-5, and we were looking at overtime. We were staring down overtime. And Steve Mealy, on a broken play, was able to collect the puck down low and score what turned out to be the game-winning goal late in that third period. And then Tom Mealy, his older brother, iced it by driving home the empty netter from center ice. So the Mealy brothers coming through for Danbury last night. Tom in his debut, and of course Steve, a more familiar face after playing with the team 2 years ago.
Here's Farsad, left circle to take the draw in the offensive zone for Danbury. Steered back to the point. Lopez, Kasich, D-to-D. Atwell's one-timer. Sticked into the corner by Harney. Turned forward at the circle. The Hat-Tricks can't control. 2.5 to play in the first. Prowlers the other way, right to left. Then they go in offside. At the Hat-Tricks line, 2:32 left in the period. Still scoreless.
Josh, I was wondering how the teams would skate today. Like, they went really hard last night. It was a hard skating game. The top players on each team got a lot of ice time, and then you're coming right back 24 hours later. And I think both teams look a little more sluggish so far tonight to get going than they did last night on opening night.
Definitely less high flying tonight. The Hat-Tricks in their own zone. White Duck can't settle a bouncing puck. Kasich now turning towards the near side. Backhand, and his chip all the way down will go for icing. 2:15 to go in a scoreless first here in Danbury.
Texas Roadhouse is located on Newtown Road in Danbury. It opened its doors locally in 2017 and is known for hand-cut steaks, cactus blossom, fall-off-the-bone ribs, made from scratch sides, and fresh baked bread. The restaurant prides itself on its legendary food, legendary service, and legendary fun. Texas Roadhouse.
Hat-Tricks lose the draw. Quick shot on goal. Stopped by Cedot. 2:11 to go. Scoreless first still.
Alex Johnson there with the, putting another puck on net. This team, Port Huron, really relies on its veterans. And you talk about guys getting a lot of ice time last night. Johnson, the defenseman, the left defenseman here, saw a ton of ice time, especially in that third period.
Hat-Tricks win the draw. Kilcheski behind his own net, turned over. Ruiz stops the centering pass. Hat-Tricks outlet. Bunnell chips in to the Prowler zone. Ruiz can't find it. Graham back the other way into the Hat-Tricks end. Daniluk across behind his own cage. Under 2 to play in the first. Up to Bunnell, left wing. Cross ice feed for Kuznetsov through center with speed at the slot, and his shot fired in right in the chest of Harney. Once again, 1:43 left in the first. No score. A lot of these hat-trick shots right in on Harney with no traffic.
Yeah, no traffic and no rebounds either from Harney there. Kuznetsov using his speed, but was not able to gain the separation that we saw last night. On each of his 3 goals that he scored last night, he used his speed to gain separation from the back-checking forward or defenseman, whichever one was on him, and he was able to score 3 absolute beauties last night.
Hat tricks can't win the offensive zone draw. Kuznetsov now taking a breather on the bench. Here's Lambden across into the middle for Soilis. He was high stick. That's going to be a penalty against the hat tricks. Puck comes to the point. It's Henning at the left circle. Fires, sticked away by CDOT into the far boards at the dasher. Hat tricks, will now touch up. And 1:18 to go in the first. It'll be another penalty kill for Danbury.
Kasich takes the penalty. He let his man slip a little bit behind him. When he takes the tripping penalty, comes at 18:42. It's Port Huron's 3rd power play already in this first period. And again, I don't want to keep beating the dead horse, but Coach McIsaac said we have to be more disciplined than we were last night. And so far in this first period, that has not been the case. But again, I point to the point I just brought up, the fact that both teams can't quite find their rhythm and don't quite have as much jump as they did last night playing on the back-to-back to open up the season.
The hat tricks will now have to play in their defensive zone for most likely the last minute 18 of this period. In their own zone, left of CDOT, Patrick zone to our left is Steve Mealy in the circle, able to win it back in the corner. Pilcheski to the near side. Tom Mealy plays it forward in the corner. Atwell can't clear. Graham goes across at the point. Johnson takes control on the far side, plays it down to the circle, back to Johnson at the top of the circle. He comes D to D, near side, Federley. Left circle, shot tipped in front. CDOT kicks the right leg out, stops it, side of the net. Atwell trying to scoop clear and can't get it out of the zone. First try, second try, able to work it out. Under 50 seconds left in the first, scoreless. 90 seconds left on a penalty kill for the hat tricks. Pass all the way down through neutral ice and down for icing against Port Huron. 1:20 to go on the power play, 38.9 in the first.
Great effort there by Aaron Atwell. He didn't get the puck out of the zone on his first attempted clear, but he was aggressive. He came right to it, gave it a second whack, gave it a third whack, and finally cleared the zone. Should point out that the fans should stay with us in the intermission because we'll be sitting down and chatting with defenseman Aaron Atwell.
Got to catch up with him, and this whole team really excited for this season. Hat tricks win the offensive zone draw now towards the corner. Can't control. It's cleared all the way down the ice, but it'll be another icing against Port Huron with 22.8 to go, 104 on the penalty kill. No score. Port Huron ices the puck on the power play 2 straight times.
It's like they're on the penalty kill, and they're just shooting it down the length of the ice. And I'm not sure if that was a set play and they were just trying for the home run because you're, under 25 seconds in the period. I'm not sure what the strategy was there. But now we see Danila coming back towards the red line off the face-off to guard against that home run pass.
Hat tricks win the draw. Shot into the corner. Stopped by Port Huron. Back the other way, right to left. Levac across the line. Leaves it to the wing. No one was there. And Ruiz scoops to center. Under 10 to play in the period. Here's Johnson into the hat trick zone. Swing wide to the left circle behind the cage. Wraparound try. CDOT stops it as the horn sounds. 41 seconds left on a power play for Port Huron when the second period begins, but the hat tricks spending a lot of time in the first, shorthanded just like last night, something Dave McIsaac will surely want to try to tighten up.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to tighten it up. This is something that was hammered into them after the game last night, and Coach McIsaac made it a priority to talk about before the game today. And instead, you see the hat tricks, maybe a little bit with the tired legs, playing from behind and, a couple tripping penalties. We saw a high sticking penalty as well. And they're shorthanded 3 times in the period. And as such, they were unable to really generate long stretches of momentum. They had a couple short stretches, but kind of one and dones, Josh. Good shot on net, but not getting to a rebound, and then the puck would come back out the other way. They need some sustained momentum in the offensive zone. They need to start generating that, as this game progresses. They were outshot in the first period, 12-8.
All right, we'll step aside here and hear from Aaron Atwell in just a moment or two, and we'll be back after that for the second period. Stick with us here on the Hat Tricks YouTube. Was defenseman.
Here at Danbury Arena, I'm Jim Cerny, hanging out with defenseman Aaron Atwell. And Aaron, another season. We joked about it before we went on camera. Wily veteran taking in, what, 7th, 8th season in the Federal League, right?
Something like that. It's been a while. The mileage is running pretty high right now, but I'm just happy that hockey's back in Danbury. It's been a long off season.
Yeah.
So I can't wait till season opener this Friday.
So, for a guy that's played hockey for so long, what was it like to have no hockey, no practice, no hanging out with the guys, no games to be played?
Weird. It was really weird, and it's one thing being in the pandemic with everyone else, and it's another thing to not have hockey. And so both of them together was kind of like, how do you function now? Basically, as long as I can remember, I've been playing hockey. So to all of a sudden shut it off, along with anything else that could fill that gap, it was pretty rough, I'd say.
I think the fans, they've been chomping at the bit, waiting for this opening weekend. Last year was kind of, we're going to start, and then decided not to, and weren't able to have a season here in Danbury. So they're going to be pretty fired up for opening weekend, and I'm sure that fires you guys up even more.
Yeah, well, the turnout for meet and greet last night was incredible. So I can only imagine what this rink is going to be like opening night, once we start winning some games, with the whole Trashers documentary. A lot of people are back on board with hockey in this town. So I'm pretty excited to see what's going on Friday.
So I have to, take this a little bit, veer it a little bit off course. You mentioned the event that took place on Wednesday at the Axe Tricks Lounge.
Yes.
Not the Hat Tricks Lounge, the Axe Tricks Lounge. So I don't know if anybody was chucking any axes that night, but in your book, who would be, you get to know the guys and everything, who would be the best axe thrower on this team?
Oh, man.
Tough one, right? That's tough.
That's tough, but I feel like Gordy might be really good at it. He just seems kind of like a Gordy or Brownie. They're both kind of like Bushmen, So I'm not sure, but I think I would trust Gordy to toss an axe and not be too scared of it bouncing off anywhere.
Yeah, I'll give you my guy. I think the guy that would be, and maybe I didn't ask the question right, because I said, what players, what teammates, the coach. I think Coach Mack can throw the axe.
Yeah, I'd definitely be afraid of him throwing it, though. That's for sure. It would be coming down really hard. Yeah.
Well, tell me about getting to know Coach Mack, and what have you kind of learned from him about his personality, and kind of what his expectations are of the group this season?
He's a man of few words, but his words have weight to them. He's very direct. He's very upfront. He's very forward. He's transparent. So it's really good to be on the same team as him, where the coach is transparent, doesn't really over-talk. So it's really easy for the guys to take everything in. So far, everyone's been on board just because he's been so transparent and pretty good at communicating, even with few words. So far, I really like him. He's doing a good job right now, and hopefully we can keep this train moving forward in the right direction.
So 2 seasons ago, when you guys were last playing here at Danbury Arena, the season, great season that you guys had, you were top 2 in the league in scoring, you were top 4 in the league in defense, kind of all the gears were meshing together there. We've talked to several players about this, but it kind of ground to a halt, unfortunately, as we touched on with the pandemic and everything. The theme really seems to be amongst the returnees, hey, we've got some unfinished business here to take care of. Is that what Aaron Atwell is carrying with him this year?
Definitely. That whole abrupt stop, I felt like we were going to take everything. I was really hoping to get a second ring on my finger. So this year we'll be pushing for the same thing, just because we already know what it takes to get where we were. And then not actually getting it. We're just a lot hungrier now to go out and grab it. So we'll start the train moving forward. see where we can get, how far we can get. I think we can do pretty well this year again. And come playoff time, it's up for grabs, but we're hungry.
So tell me about the challenge then of starting up again. This isn't even one season. You're not 2 seasons removed, but even 1 season removed, every season has its own theme and, things change. You have different bodies here, different players and all that. So is it you're picking up from where you left off, or you're starting over, but just kind of carrying that motivation from 2 seasons ago?
It's a bit of both. We do have a lot of new faces, and we do have a bit of a nucleus from that 1 season where we had a good run. Unfortunately, it's not just the nucleus that's going to take us there. It's going to be the new guys and new faces that come in as well. So it's a bit of motivation from the last season, but all those guys weren't here for that. So It's a bit of kind of finding a middle ground with them, getting them on board and knowing that, like, hey, this is what it takes to win a championship, or at least we think so. This is where it took us, and for everyone to buy in and just pull in the same direction.
Well, good stuff. It starts this weekend against Port Huron. Best of luck here, but all the way through. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The scoreless heading into the second intermission. We'll be right back here from Danbury Arena. We are back inside Danbury Arena, just about set for the second period of action. Hat tricks, Prowlers, scoreless after 1. I'm Josh Starr. I'm with Jim Cerny. And the hat tricks spent a lot of time in the penalty box in that first period.
Yep, can't continue that way, but that's it. They still came out of it unscathed, 0-0. I thought Cooper Cedot was very, very good. We praised him last night, and he gave up 5 goals on 33 shots, only 1 at even strength. But I got to tell you, tonight I think he's been much more sharp. I think I was kind of questioning it. I thought we might see Will McEwen in goal tonight. Going back to back to start the season. And Coach McIsaac, he was adamant. He thought Cooper Cedot was good last night. Said Cooper Cedot is a young kid. He can go back to back. And so far through 20 minutes, he's right on the mark because Cedot's been the best hat trick player.
He has been making a couple of big saves. He had a lot of pressure on him, too. Something we talk about, the hat tricks having to get pressure on the net. He had a ton right in front of him. The hat tricks have 47 seconds left on a Matthias Kasich tripping penalty at the end of the period. So down 5-on-4 to start the period. Hat tricks win the draw. And it is turned forward into the Port Huron end. Cross ice left to right. Now Graham into the hat-trick zone across the line. Left circle. Jay fans on the shot. 30 seconds left on the penalty. And the hat-trick's clear all the way down the length of the ice. 20 seconds into the period. 25 left on the penalty to Kasich. Left to right. Now the Prowlers come across. At the left circle, it's Graham. Far side swing along behind the net to the near dasher. His pass off a skate out in front. Jay tipped in front. That one went off of Atwell, 39 seconds into the period, 9 seconds on the power play. But Cedot, again, was there and alert in a scoreless game.
Yeah, well, had some pressure on him, and he actually swung the puck back the other way, lost control of it, and CDOT was alert to make the save.
Face off to CDOT's left. Steve Mealy unable to win it. It's at the point. Johnson fires a shot just wide. 5 seconds left on the penalty. Along behind the net, it's Graham. Graham, the player coach of this team, centers it out in front. It was stopped by the Hat-Tricks as Kasich exits the box. Hat-Tricks back at full strength. Right to left, Tom Mealy up the right wing, across the Prowlers line, cutting into the slot. Now fires one in. Harney sliding to his right, able to make that stop and cover up.
Well, we talked about the Hat-Tricks need to get more bodies to the net. We were talking specifically about the power play, but I think even at even strength, they need to get more bodies in front of Harney. And that time you saw it. Tom Mealy set up the play by coming right to left along or inside the blue line, while brother Steve came up left wing and then cut to the net. And as he was cutting to the net, Tom put the shot on goal, so they got a little traffic there. Good save, though. Good glove save by Harney.
Near side face-off. Anderson can't win it for the Hat-Tricks. A minute into this second period, scoreless. It's in the neutral zone, but Anderson right back in, across the line, fires a shot from the right circle, sticked and deflected into the corner. Now the Prowlers outlet up through center, all the way down the ice. Kenny Garrett retreating into his own zone to get it, pinned up against the boards hard by Portillo, and the Prowlers have it. Soilis up to the point, Manzo, his shot wide of the net. Lambden running after it in the corner. And to drop it behind the net is Soilis, and Finberg strips him. Over a minute and a half played in the second. Cass right to left through center ice across the Prowlers line for the Hat-Trick. Centering pass, takes a hop through the slot and all the way to the near side. It'll be Portillo the other way. Portillo across the Hat-Trick's line, slowing down, stopping at the circle and playing it all the way around the bend to the far side. It's Manzo along the far circle in the Hat-Trick zone, circling back and now in the far corner. Below the goal line for Sura, 2 minutes in, and he is crunched off the puck by Daniluk. However, Williams takes over for Port Huron in the corner. Williams behind the net, far side to the other corner is Crawford. Leaves it for Williams, left circle, all the way to the point. The shot fired in, and that one stopped that was from Alston. He has it back at the point, all the way around behind, and the Hat-Tricks will find it. Mike Lopez in the corner. 2 players go down, no call. In the far corner, Lopez sealed up against the boards, trying to clear Finberg, can't get it out. It's Johnson at the left point, all the way out in front, into the slot, bodies all around, but the Hat-Tricks clear. Here's Lopez, 2-on-1 for the Hat-Tricks. Across for Finberg, out of his reach. Now he tries to get it back out in front, is crunched off that one, and it goes behind the net. 3 minutes in, Atwell keeps it in. A scoreless game on the far side, shot just wide. Harney might have been screened by his own defenseman there. Far side in on the forecheck to Ruiz. Left circle, fire just wide of the net, and it goes out to the far side, the dasher, where the Prowlers excavate the zone. All the way to Kasich near side at neutral ice. Fires one in from there, and it's gloved by Harney. They'll stop things with 16:39 to go in the second, scoreless.
Well, interesting. The first few shifts here of the second period, it's been pretty much all Port Huron. But the other interesting aspect has been we see Mike Lopez and Kason Farsed getting shifts. I think possibly they each had 1 shift apiece in that first period, each making their season debut. They did not dress last night. They're playing tonight. But coach getting them out there, maybe trying to get some fresh legs out onto the ice.
Ruiz wins the draw. Kuznetsov, quick shot, stopped by Harney. Kuznetsov again, he wasn't a big factor in the game plan last night, but tonight definitely trying to get him the puck more. Here's Ruiz, left circle, offensive zone. 3.5 in to the period. Ruiz can't win this one, but Kuznetsov keeps it alive. Kuznetsov along the half wall, gets it to the point. Kasich, left point, tipped in front. Bunnell just wide of the net, hit the side of the cage. Kasich, left side, trying to keep it in the zone, and a player's upended. That will be another penalty against the Hat-Tricks. Here's Graham into the slot, another player down. Hat-Tricks touch up, and
I think they're going to get Kasich for an interference penalty here at the blue line right beneath us. You know, they almost could have taken a second penalty there, Bunnell on the back check, but it looks like Kasich is going to be the only one going to the box, and for Kasich, that is going to be his 3rd minor penalty his third penalty in the game today. He's got 2 minors and 1 major. So Port Huron will go to their 4th power play, a 0-0 game, 3:45 into period number 2.
So Kasich in the box, tripping the call, and the hat trick's back to the penalty kill. Mealy able to win the draw and clear all the way down the ice. We'll start the penalty kill strong. 10 seconds in, 16:04 on the clock, and the hat tricks on the penalty kill. Henning through center, off to the left wing. Williams, for Sura rather, couldn't handle it. It's cleared down the ice by the hat tricks. Danbury on the penalty kill here. Left to right, it's for Sura across the hat tricks line. Left circle, fired a shot into the shin pad of Kilcheski, and back to the point. It's taken by Anderson. Anderson short-handed ahead, one-handed in to the zone by Mealy, and it will be Johnson behind his own net up the left wing. Manzo through center ice. 1:10 on the power play for Port Huron. At the left circle, fires a shot, glove down, not handled by CDOT, but the hat trick's able to clear and get out of the zone. 1 minute remaining on the Kasich penalty. Graham across the hat trick's line to the left circle, poked away by Atwell behind the net in the near corner. Turning towards the point, pinching is Federley along the half wall. Anderson finds the puck for the hat tricks and clears the length of the ice. 45 to go on the power play for Port Huron. 5 minutes in to this game.
Hat tricks caught a little bit of a break there because Graham had Dalton J flying down the right side. He just couldn't get him the puck.
Into this period, rather. The Prowlers into the zone at the point. Federley. 30 seconds left on their power play. Federley at the point, down low, and the shot from Jay goes wide all the way through. The backhand try. Graham in the far corner behind the net. Levac. Pinned up against the boards by Garrett. Now working his way out in front. The whistle blows as I think the net may have come off there. 9 seconds to go on the power play. 14:24 in the period.
Dalton J has had the puck on his stick in prime scoring areas quite a bit in the first 2 periods so far, and he has misfired more often than not. He is not getting those shots on net. And we talk about a little bit of an older guy, a veteran guy, back-to-back games, start of the season or whatever. You wonder if maybe the timing's a little bit off. Maybe the legs are a little bit tired from last night. Because last night, I mean, he was putting it all on net. He had, I believe a team-high 9 shots last night, scored 2 goals, had 2 assists, a 4-point night for him. But here, he seems to be misfiring. He's not quite in sync as he was yesterday. Same thing with Graham. Graham had a 3-point night last night. And, here, same thing again today. He's trying to play, make plays and what have you. But he just has been misfiring with his passes and being caught from behind on a couple of his break-ins. So, again, going back to that point we made in the first period, back-to-back games, you have to wonder, if especially some of these older guys might be feeling it a bit in the legs.
But again, this league, typical to have back-to-backs, so the hat tricks and the Prowlers will be getting used to it. Hat tricks win the draw, clear all the way down the ice. That'll do it for the Port Huron power play. Hat tricks able to forecheck but not control the puck. It's back into their own zone. Along the far circle, Jay leaves it for Levac. His shot off the right leg of CDOT in front. 6 minutes into the period. The second period is scoreless. So far, the shot just wide of the net. Out in front, Jay trying, bouncing around in front, swatting away. Graham can't find it. It's into the corner. In the near corner, it's Graham going behind the net, around to the far side, out to the point. Johnson, center point. Johnson fires off a body, goes wide into the circle. Right circle, all the way across the left circle. Here's Federley at the left point now. Down to Graham, center point. One-timer from Johnson, stop. And the second chance try goes all the way through the goal mouth. Now a shot tipped wide, and Kuznetsov will find it along the half wall. His cross-ice pass for Mealy in his skates. Mealy tries to scoop it forward to Kuznetsov. Can't find him. And the Prowlers will control. Just about 7 minutes played in this game. Mealy forces a turnover. Tom Mealy, right circle, in on goal, just wide. And Harney able to make the save. Rebound, wrap around. Steve Mealy scores. It was Tom Mealy who forced the turnover in the neutral zone. He swooped in, and his first chance was stopped, but his brother Steve, the wraparound try, able to put that one home inside the near post, and the Hat-Tricks take the lead 1-0 in the second, 12:33 to go in the period.
Yeah, great effort there by both Mealys, and it resulted in the goal by Steve on the rebound of the first shot by Tom, as you described it. Yeah, just a really good job. He was unchecked and he got to that puck, and it was just a quick hands on the side of the net. And we saw a little, argument from Lambden, with the official. I don't know if he was saying that maybe the net lifted up and the puck went in the side. I did not see that at all. I thought it was clean between post and skate and just over the goal line.
It looked like Harney did leave a little bit of room there, and Mealy was able to find it. So that's, it's the Prowlers might be upset, but from here, right at our vantage point, it looked like the goal was not off, and it was right inside of the right leg of Harney and the post. Should be a good goal.
Steve Mealy had 16 points in 20 games with Danbury 2 seasons ago. And we talked about it last night. The Mealy brothers are here to produce on the ice and also to provide a lot of leadership. Combined, they've played 700 odd minor league games. Tom's 35, Steve's 32. These guys pretty much have seen it and done it all at the minor league level. But to see them produce on the ice, Steve had the game-winning goal late in the third period last night. Here, this is a big goal. You're a 0-0 game, and let's face it, Danbury's been outplayed by Port Huron to this point today, but yet a nice aggressive effort on his part to get to that puck and score the first goal of the game. So it's got 2 goals in 2 games, and each one of them was an important goal.
The Mealys combining for almost 600 professional games played. That experience helps when you have some guys in your lineup that aren't as experienced. Even some of the experienced hat-tricks coming back. Corey Anderson only has his 1 season of play here. It was...
Yeah, and Johnny Ruiz, only 2 seasons, and one of them was, last year where they only played 24 games. There's a big difference, the experience that the Mealy brothers bring.
Hat-tricks can't win the draw, but now winning in the game. 1-0, 12:20 to go in the period. And the Hat-Tricks ice the puck. Face-off coming down the Hat-Trick zone. Steve Mealy assisted by his brother Tom, combining for the goal. Hat-Tricks leading 1-0 here in the second. Steve wins the face-off in his own zone to our right. Behind the net, Kilcheski. It's out in front. The shot from a hard angle. Portillo wide of the net. Henning now at the point right circle. He fans on the shot. Here's Daniluk. Outlet pass looking for Tom Mealy. Couldn't find him. Now Steve up the right wing. Steve across the zone. Steve out into the slot for Tom. It was poked away. Steve has it right back. 8 minutes in. Tom left circle. Fires in front. Stopped by Harney. 11:54 to play in the period. And the Mealys again trying to create havoc.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice little chemistry between the two. Create a good scoring opportunity again. And I like the fact that Corey Anderson was in front of the net. If Harney does not play that puck cleanly, Anderson's right there with the potential to clean up the rebound. I like that he went to the net. Got to see more of that from Danbury.
Here's Finberg. Shot off the draw. Sticked into the corner by Harney. Here's Atwell, can't control it. 2-on-2 for Port Huron, and it's stopped by Finberg, the forward having to get back and stop the rush. 11:45 to play in the second period. Tipped on C-Dot from Kasich, and just wide. He was able to make that stop. Here's White Duck, his cross-ice feed. Flag down at center by the Prowlers and turn back forward in towards the hat-trick zone. Kasich retreating. Been in the box a couple times tonight. 11.5 to play in the second. 1-0 hat-tricks across into the Port Huron zone. Roseboom, D-to-D Federally, left side. Cross-ice outlet is over for Sura's stick. Icing waved off. He must have deflected it. Kasich into the far corner. Kicks it to himself along behind the hat-tricks net and will turn into the near side. Now back the other way. Back behind the net, Kilcheski, right-handed defenseman, powering forward and gets it out to center ice. Under 11 to play in the second. Breakaway for Graham. Graham in on CDOT. Backhand scores. He roofed it over CDOT, and you can't leave him open on a breakaway. The hat-tricks had a couple of issues with those last night, and now Graham puts one home. It's 1-1, 10:48 to go in the second period.
Yeah, Port Huron has had, the better of the play, the better of the scoring chances, but we haven't seen that yet today. I mean, just a complete breakdown by Danbury, and Graham gets behind the D. I mean, he was in all alone, and the veteran roofs the backhand. His second goal of the season. He scored one last night. He had a 3-point night last night, and he scores his second of the season, ties the game at 1 with 10:48 to play here in the second period.
Hat-tricks. Ruiz taking the draw, can't win it. Now Graham right back into the hat-trick zone, right circle out in front, through. Jay couldn't find the pass. Tied up here, 10.5 to go in the second period from Danbury. Game 2 of the season, a 7-5 contest last night. Now it's 1-1 about halfway through regulation. Ruiz up the left wing, out of the reach of Bunnell, and the hat-tricks powering forward. Ruiz knocks a player down. Bunnell forward, and a penalty is being called against the hat-tricks. Looks like it's going to be Johnny Ruiz.
Well,
they might get both here.
Yeah, the penalty against Bunnell, not on Bunnell, but that was against Bunnell, has to be called, right?
Yeah, it was a trip, but I thought maybe they were calling it before that happened. Looks like Graham will head to the box too.
Yeah, Ruiz and Graham will both go in. And so we're going to see some open ice here. It should be a 4-on-4. You know who I'd like to see out here in a 4-on-4, Josh Starr?
Who's that?
Not you. I like you up here. I'd like to see Kuznetsov out there with the open ice, 4-on-4 with his speed. He's not going to start in this situation out there. But I bet you at some point, probably the next shift, he's going to be hopping on the ice. Looks like they're going to go with Kasich and Atwell. Anderson and Tom Mealy are going to be the 4 for Danbury here. So Ruiz and Graham in the penalty box. Penalties come at 9:41. The goal was at 9:08. Graham from Federally tying the game at 1 apiece. Now, interesting note, we're now 4.5 periods into the season, last night and today. Danbury hat-tricks have not trailed a single second. They've either been even or they've been in the lead. Right now they're even, 1-1.
When you score first, it's very helpful. You're not chasing the game. The hat-tricks have done that in both games. Now they have given up the lead a couple times, been tied but never trailing. They are tied right now, a neutral zone draw here for Anderson against Levac. Anderson trying to win it forward, can't do it. And the Prowlers take over in their own zone. 10-12 to go, second period, tied at 1. And it's 4-on-4 for another minute 50 here. Across the hat-tricks line, Jay into the zone, loses it into the corner. Along behind, halfway through regulation, Johnson at the left circle. Powers in deep. Levac trying to center it, can't. It's stopped by Kasich. Now the hat-tricks the other way. Tom Mealy up the left wing, cross-ice speed all the way across to the far side. Atwell speeding forward. Atwell bottom of the right circle, out in front. Anderson couldn't find it. All the way out to center. Kasich retreats and controls for Danbury. 9:35 to play. Stretch pass for Levac, and he's into the hat-trick zone. Out in front, Jay cleared away. Levac has it right back. Down low, Jay. Back to Levac in front, and it was stuck in his skates. He still finds a way to get a shot through. It goes wide. Halfway through the 4-on-4. Kilcheski starts the breakout for the hat-tricks. Here's Kuznetsov, like Jim said, across the line, down low, working his way behind the net, all the way out to the near side of the circle. Now speeding across the blue line. Back to the far ring. Down low, Danila to the near side in the corner. Steve Mealy across looking for Kuznetsov. Off a skate. Kuznetsov finds it back out in front. Down a look. Unable to find it. And that puck tips out of play. Under 9 to play here in the second. And 39 more seconds on the 4-on-4, tied at 1.
TK's American Cafe on White Street in Danbury. Stop by TK's and try one of their 76 amazing wings flavors. Josh's favorite is the Gold Rush. He loves it. He's all about the gold, that Josh. Visit them on the web, tksamericancafe.com. Well, on the 4-on-4, we got to see a little bit of Kuznetsov, working his edges and holding on to that puck and skating around. But you like to see a little bit something more happen there. And he was doing all the skating, and his teammates were pretty much standing around watching him do the skating and carrying the puck. And as it, resulted in a whole lot of nothing, kind of a little bit of a wasted opportunity in the offensive zone.
Yeah, he was just winding his way around the whole entire zone. Not much for him to do besides carry the puck. There was no real options for him, and then he got the puck to Steve Mealy, who then tried to feed it back to Kuznetsov. That pass was broken up through the slot. That could have been a good chance for the Hat-Tricks, but here it is, 8:58 to go in the second, tied at 1. Hat-Tricks offensive zone draw. Finberg can't win it. Bunnell hard into the corner, but Henning clears all the way down. Off a body, Kolcheski chases after it in his own zone. He'll hammer along to the far side where Daniluk outlets for the Hat-Tricks. Up the right side, it's tipped away and into the Port Huron zone. So Elise behind his net, starting to break out for the Hat-Tricks, pestered by Daniluk, and Daniluk forces the turnover. Daniluk all by himself across the line, hammers in behind the net. Bunnell finds it on the far side, and around 3, Prowlers gets it to Kasich center point. Kasich fires a sliding. Portillo blocks it. Bunnell in the corner, walks by 1, out in front, Bunnell just wide. What a move from Bunnell to get to the net, couldn't finish it, and Graham clears. Back to even strength here in Danbury. And 8 minutes to go in the period. It's tipped in, no icing, as Kasich in his own zone finds that puck. Turned out in front. Cedon makes the stop on Frisura down below and laying on his back. Can't find it, but able to cover it up. 8 to play, 1-1 still. CDOT somehow another point-blank chance there for the Prowlers.
This one's, not saying last night was crisp hockey, but this one's gotten a little sloppy here. And, Danbury, turning the puck over in their own end and inability to clear it has really put the pressure on CDOT.
Hat-Tricks win the draw behind their own net, tipped to center by Lopez. And the Prowlers control inside their own line to the left. Farsad at center, hammers in. 7.5 to play, second period, 1-1. Behind his net, Federle feeds up the right wing. And Crawford, fans on the first try, now his second try, right to Harrison Cast for the Hat-Tricks. Farsad at center. Leaves it for Lopez, who chips in deep. His third line getting its first extended time, but they'll be changing shortly here as Tom Mealy and Corey Anderson onto the ice. Frisura across the Hat-Tricks line, right circle, into the slot, working down low. Crawford all the way around behind. CDOT gaining his position in net at the point. Roseboom fires a shot, rebound try. Crawford stopped by CDOT both times. Hat-Tricks chip ahead, just out of the reach of Anderson. Under 7 to play in the second, tied at 1. Here's Jay through the Hat-Tricks zone at the top of the circles, fires one. It's stymied by the Hat-Tricks defense. Now the outlet to Tom Mealy, right wing. Leaves it for his brother Steve at center ice. Takes a big hit, and Anderson along the blue line able to settle that puck down. He is working in left circle. Anderson fires off the post with a shot, and it comes into the corner. That was a hard angle to shoot from for Anderson. Made it to the net, but hit the post. The Prowlers settling behind their own net. 6:15 to play in the second, tied at 1. Up the left wing, Graham unable to find that puck. Here's Kuznetsov in the neutral zone. See if he can do some damage here. Right to left across the zone and stopped at the line. Just chips in high off the glass in the far corner. It's taken by Johnson for the Prowlers. Roseboom out to center ice. Levac off to the right wing. It's Graham at the top of the near circle. Fires a shot high and wide. And Graham has it right back along the left circle. Down below the net, Levac out to the right circle. Bottom of it is Jay. His centering feed goes all the way through. One arm swing from Kuznetsov gets that puck to center, and the Hat-Tricks regroup now in their own end. 5.5 to play in the second. Tied at 1. Kilcheski right to left. Here's Daniluk across, and at his own blue line will circle back. Hat-Tricks completing a change. Lopez tips into the zone. Finberg chasing after it. 5:20 left in the period. As it goes all the way down the ice. C-Dot out of his net. No icing. Hat-Tricks turn it over. Right circle. A shot from Portillo blocked away. And the Hat-Tricks able to avoid a catastrophe on that turnover. Here's White Duck. White Duck up the right wing out in front and couldn't find a Hat-Trick stick. Lopez, his first game for the Hat-Tricks, will feed it across. White Duck couldn't find it. Back into the Hat-Trick zone. Kasich circling behind is upended. A big check against Kasich. He's up a little bit slowly, and the Hat-Tricks will tip into the zone. Kasich off to the bench. 4.5 to play. Second period. 1-1 to score. Prowlers across the neutral zone. Kilcheski intercepts the pass. Mealy able to win it forward to his brother Tom. Tom out to Steve. Back down low to Tom. Out in front. Anderson couldn't find the tip in front. He had a wide open net to shoot at. 4:20 to go. Prowlers back into the Hat-Trick zone. Out in front. Williams unable to find the cross-ice feed. Now it's starting to look a little bit like last night as the teams are getting some energy in the second. 4:08 to play in the Hat-Trick zone. The Prowlers lose it to Danbury. Tom Mealy up the left wing. 4 minutes exactly to play in the second period. Steve Mealy gets into the zone. Can't get it deep. It's turned over. And the stretch pass looking for Henning tipped away at the last second by Daniluk. C-Dot out of his net near side to play it up the boards. Atwell chips it ahead to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov at his own blue line. One hands it forward to Bunnell across the Prowlers line. Left side at the circle. Tries a shot. Fans on it. And it's cleared to center. 3.5 to play in the second period. Hammered in from center ice. Ruiz trying to repeat what he did last night. Didn't work this time. Henning up the boards, and now it's a 2-on-1 for Port Huron at the right circle. Brasseur out in front. Graham, and it was too high of a pass for him to handle in the corner. Graham back out in front. Atwell intercepts. Atwell the other way, right to left, across center ice, far side along the wing. Across the Prowlers line, chips it forward. Bunnell flags it down. Backhand try just wide. Bunnell right back out in front, hammers one off the side of the net, and behind it will be Manzo taking over with 3 to go in the period. Tied at 1, Port Huron left to right across the ice, dumps it into the Hat-Trick zone where Kenny Garrett retrieves behind his net, leaves it for Kilcheski up the far boards. Finberg banks it ahead and unable to connect with Kuznetsov. Settling down in the neutral zone, Lambton backhands forward. Jay in offside. With 2:39 to play in the period. And it's 1-1 the score in the second.
Dr. Jared DiLorenzo is a proud member of the Danbury Hat-Tricks medical team. Stop by and see him on Locust Street in downtown Danbury. Feeling good is an option, and they can get you there. And right now, Danbury being outshot 20-12 as we're late here in the second period. Score tied 1-1, and Josh, the action actually picking up there the last stretch. About a 4-minute stretch without a whistle. Back-to-back skating. But again, not a lot of real crisp play or good scoring opportunities at either end of the ice. And, that's kind of been the way this game has gone. And it's going to be interesting to see what the team looks like, what Danbury looks like, because their next game is not until November 10th. It's a Wednesday night here at Danbury Arena against Watertown. So they've got quite a bit of time to work on systems, work on power play, work on penalty kill. A lot of practice time between now and then. It's going to be interesting to see how different the team looks and how it comes together because, they only had 4 days together in training camp and one game last night, second game tonight. It's going to be interesting to see what that break, how they can use it to their advantage because Coach McIsaac thinks it's a great thing. That is going to be a big advantage for them.
Not everyone in the league has that much time off to work on things, and Hat-Tricks will take full advantage of it. Center ice face off with 2:37 to play in the period, and the Hat-Tricks win it. Chip in deep. On the far side, Farsad chasing after it. White Duck unable to find it. It's Soilis the other way. Up the left wing. Portillo stopped at the line and hammers in deep. Under 2.5 to play in the second, tied at 1. Down along the near wall, Finberg plays it to the center, and Roseboom takes it for Port Huron. Right back into the hat-trick zone. All the way behind the net, Daniluk scoops it forward along the far boards. It's kept in at the line. Roseboom takes a bounce off the referee's skate in the corner. Now Daniluk high off the glass and out to center ice. Under 2 to play in the second period. 1-1 the score. White Duck forces a turnover in the neutral zone. White Duck, left circle, unable to get a good shot off. It goes wide of the net. Behind the net, Finberg wraparound try. Arm goes up, and looks like there will be a penalty here.
Yep, looks like it's going to be a Danbury power play. And while the play was going on, I was also looking down towards the bench. Matty Kasich is not on the bench after taking that hit near his own blue line. He came off the ice. He was favoring that right leg. And he came down, didn't go to the bench. He went down the runway, and he's still trying to walk it off right now. He's only now coming back to the bench, and he's shaking his head back and forth as he talks to Coach Dave McIsaac. So have to keep an eye on that. That would be a big loss if Kasich leaves the game.
Hat-Tricks have a power play, and they can't win the face-off, so it's cleared down the length of the ice. Penalty on Roseboom for slashing, and the Hat-Tricks in their own zone now. Right to left through center ice. Kilcheski taking the outlet pass, leaving it up the right wing for Tom Mealy. Tom Mealy inside the line, upended. Can't control, and now Johnson left to right across the other way. Hat-Tricks down defensively on the penalty kill, off the stick, maybe the post, and the Hat-Tricks come the other way, 2-on-1. It's Steve Mealy over to Tom Mealy, left circle, out in front, scores! The brothers connecting again for the Hat-Tricks. It's Tom Mealy who gets the goal this time. They're sharing the cookie jar tonight. And it's 2-1 Hat-Tricks, 1:05 to go in the second.
Well, the brothers got a 2-on-1 on the power play, and they were so patient. In fact, I thought they were too patient. Tom holding on to that puck at the right circle, holding, and then making the goalie make the first move, the flinch, and then Tom Mealy beat him, his second of the season.
Hat-Tricks in the offensive zone again, under a minute to play in the period. Hat-Tricks converting on the power play. Now here's Lambden, 1-on-1 against Atwell. Lambden across the line, out in front, chips it just wide of the net. It went high, and the Prowlers back on it in the corner. At the circle, Portillo out in front. Lambden tipped high and wide by the Hat-Tricks defense. Kuznetsov takes over. 35 seconds to go. Kuznetsov can't get out of the zone. It's Soilis, fires high and wide. Hat-Tricks trying to chip away and get it out to center with Ruiz. Now in the neutral zone with 20 seconds left in the period. Hat-Tricks, a huge goal from Tom Mealy at the left circle to make it a 2-1 game on the power play. It's chipped ahead to Johnny Ruiz, swatting at it, pushing it forward into the Port Huron zone, under 10 to play in the period. All the way down into the neutral zone with 3 seconds left. Ruiz just plays it into the far corner, and that will do it at the end of the second. Hat-Tricks leading 2-1, and it was courtesy of the Mealy brothers. First, Steve from Tom, and then Tom from Steve. Hat-Tricks up by 1 after 2. And a period that really picked up the pace in the second half of it.
Yeah, absolutely. The second half of that period was the best hockey that we've seen in this game so far. Back-to-back action, or end-to-end action, I should say. And, they score on 2 of their 5 shots. Pretty good percentage right there. Danbury certainly wants to generate more offense and more offensive opportunities, but they've taken advantage, the Mealy brothers, and they have a 2-1 lead after 2. At 7:27, it was Steve Mealy, his second of the season from brother Tom. Then at 9:08, Port Huron tied it up. Graham is second from Federley and for Shura. And then at 18:55, again, Danbury finds a way to regain the lead. Tom Mealy is second of the season on the power play from Steve Mealy and Aaron Atwell. And again, the Prowlers outshot the Hat Tricks in the second period 10-5, or make it now 10-6. They added a shot there. And 22-14 shots in favor of Port Huron through 2 periods of play. And, talking about discipline with Danbury, they kill off 4 Port Huron power plays, and then they finally get one of their own, and boom, they cash it in on the 2-on-1.
Hat Tricks up 2-1 after 2 periods in this intermission. You'll get to hear from Corey Anderson. Hat Tricks forward had a sensational rookie year, captured the fan base, and able to try and replicate some of that this season in Danbury. Hat Tricks up by 1 after 2. We'll be back with that interview in the break, and then the third period coming up after that. This is Danbury Hat Tricks hockey on Hat Tricks YouTube.
Matt Graham scoring the only goal for Port Huron in between the Mealy brother goals. And that's where we are right now, even though Danbury being outshot in this one 22-14. They lead it 2-1, trying to make it back-to-back wins to open up the 2021-22 season. Now, just a couple days ago, before the season actually got underway, our Josh Starr sat down with forward Corey Anderson and had this chat, and we'll send it over to that right now.
Hey, Hattricks fans, Josh Starr here with Corey Anderson, wrapping up training camp. And Corey, just getting ready for the season. Thoughts on training camp, wrapping up, and how'd it go for you?
Yeah, it's been great so far. I mean, I only got here on Wednesday was my first skate. It was honestly great getting back on this ice. It's like we never left, honestly. But for camp overall, pretty happy with it. We've got a good group going on here. I think we got enough ammunition in the roster here to make a good run and a good start for sure.
You came in your first year a couple years ago with the Hattricks. You put up some good numbers. You contributed a lot to the team. How do you carry your experience now into your second year here?
Yeah, I mean, like I just said, it's kind of, just picking up where you left off kind of thing, the mentality and, knowing your role on the team. And, I think that's what I just picked up on right away, and that was my job. And, to honestly just make sure that I do my job night in, night out, and do what I can to help this team win games.
So Corey, we've had a long break. Last year was off. The pandemic shut it down. First year got cut short. Do you know how many days it has been since the last Hattricks game?
The last Hattricks game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over a year for sure. So we're gonna go, let's say 390.
You're a little low. 601.
Oh, jeez.
Starting
Not even close.
for the first game. Opening night, 601
Wow.
days
All
ago was the last game. And
Yeah.
what is it going to mean to be back here with a packed building?
Oh, with a packed building, this is one of the reasons why we do this job is for, this city and for these fans especially. It's going to be an electric feeling in here, and that's going to be fuel for our bench, and we're going to feed off that all night long. And, it's going to be a good feeling for sure playing in front of this crowd again for sure.
What are your expectations for the team this year? It's a little bit of a new look from a couple years ago, but some guys are coming back. What are you expecting with a new coach and some new teammates?
Yeah, we got some old guys and we got some new guys. So, I mean, the mentality doesn't change of, we're going to be a hardworking team every night. We're going to be tough to play against. And, that first year that we had winning, at least the Eastern Division, I think that's a bar for sure. And it should be for this club and this organization. And, to at least achieve that, and I don't see why we can't make a run for a title here.
So you and Johnny Ruiz have both talked about unfinished business.
Yeah.
Just talk about it again there. What is the key to getting there this year?
I think it's just being good consistently night in and night out. Coach is, coming up with a good game plan for us, and, he knows what he's talking about. He has the experience, and it's up to us at the end of the day to execute, our structure and our systems. And, it's a matter of consistency. And like I said, and that's going to make the difference for sure in the little details. It's going to, add up in the long run between, those points and winning those games.
You mentioned Dave McIsaac's experience behind the bench. What does that mean to the team, and how can you guys use that to your advantage?
Oh, absolutely. It's huge to have a guy that knows this town, knows, what this league and stuff is about for the most part. Again, it's just a buy-in system. So, it takes a whole group, to can come together. And, like I said again, those little details are going to pay off in the end of winning those games or not.
All right. Well, Hattricks fans, that's Corey Anderson. I'm Josh Starr. Hattricks open the season this weekend, and we're excited to be back in the building. We'll see you next time.
That was Corey Anderson, Danbury hat-trick forward, who's got one assist in the first two games of the season after a sterling rookie campaign 2 seasons ago. He is going to be a guy that's going to be counted on all season long. And that was his chat with our very own Josh Starr. After 2, almost ready for the third period here in Danbury at Danbury Arena. Hat tricks 2 and the Prowlers 1. We'll be back with the start of the third period. The green being hauled up, that is not, I repeat, not Josh Starr.
That's not me. No. But
Many
also,
people may have believed that green man was Josh Starr. It is not Josh Starr.
I'm not sure. He might have been the winner of the kids' Halloween costume contest.
Well,
It was the Hanson brothers who
Yes.
won the adult contest.
yes, I saw that.
We can see them.
A lot of good costumes. What are you going as for Halloween tomorrow?
I'm going as lounger on the couch.
Nice.
Yeah.
NFL Sunday,
Yeah.
Star kicking back.
Yep.
I like it. Happy Halloween to all the listeners out there and, fans that came out tonight to enjoy the Halloween festivities a little bit early here at Danbury Arena. And right now they got themselves a 2-1 lead for the home team.
Yep. In the second period, it was the Mealy brothers who took the show for the hat tricks. They sandwiched a Port Huron goal. At first, it was Steve Mealy at 7:27 from his brother Tom. Then Port Huron answered with Michael Graham at 9. Matt Graham, at 9:12 of the period from Federley and Frisura. Then it was Tom Mealy, assisted by Steve and Aaron Atwell at 18:55 of the period. Here's a replay of it. It was a 2-on-1 rush.
Tom was so patient there. And I was almost thinking that he held on to the puck too long. But boy, the veteran certainly knew what he was doing. And he comes in clean here. Steve finds him. I mean, he's just one-on-one with the goalie. And he took his time, found his spot, and he picked it. And that's the lead right there. That's the difference in the game right now.
Talked about it last night in the third period. Dave McIsaac leaning on his experience in the third. It's the second end of a back-to-back. We've already noticed a little bit of fatigue on both sides. We'll see what happens here in the third. McIsaac's hat tricks back on the left side of the ice, heading towards the zone to our right. The Prowlers heading right to left in this third period. Hat tricks up 2-1 as we start the third at even strength. Ruiz against Solis. Ruiz wins the draw to start the third period. The hat tricks in the neutral zone, hammering in deep and the right side into the near corner. Ruiz can't find the puck, and it's taken by Port Huron up through the neutral zone. Sticked ahead by Port Huron. Atwell has it at his own line. Kenny Garrett flutters ahead, and Ruiz will chase after it in the far corner of the Port Huron end. In the corner, it's Solis who flies it high out all the way down the length of the ice. No icing waved off. Atwell, not enough juice on the trek back down the ice. 40 seconds into the period. Now Atwell getting the feet moving along into the far corner. Leaves it for Anderson out in front. Couldn't really connect on it. Now the second chance shot on goal from Atwell, and it was stopped by Port Huron's goaltender Harney.
And the hat tricks are going to be shorthanded in this third period. Matty Kasich did not come back out onto the ice. He was hurt with about 3-4 minutes to go in the second period. He was clipped at his own blue line, had his head down, took a shot, took a hit at the blue line, and seemed to be favoring his right leg when he skated off the ice. He did not take another shift after that. He was able to skate to the dressing room with his teammates at the end of the period, but Matty did not come back out for period number 3. So that's an important guy that is not out there for the hat tricks.
Already shorthanded tonight with Vinny Susi scratched after the warm-up. Could not go. And see, the hat tricks will have a layoff for 10 days, so that might help a little bit. A minute into the third period, hat tricks up 2-1. Along the near side, it's taken by Port Huron and out to center ice. All the way across the right side for Sura at the right circle. Taken down by Anderson into the corner. Puck found by Kilcheski out to the point. It's hammered in from Federley. Sticked away by C-Dot into the far corner now. End of the circle for Sura. Finds it top of the right circle. Fires a shot. It's sticked out and out of play from Danbury in the hat-trick zone. 18:34 to go in the third. 2-1 Danbury.
So Matty Kasich is a forward who was playing defense and he was actually in the starting lineup alongside Atwell. So he was on your number one defensive pair, which is where Susie was last night, and now you don't have either one of them here coming down the stretch of a one-goal game.
Hat-tricks win the defensive zone draw 90 seconds into the period and get it out to center ice. Right back in from Dalton J. Across the left circle, Federley hammers into the corner. Graham chasing after it. Graham behind the net. Can't corral it, but the Hat-tricks unable to clear. Far corner, Federley dangles to the top of the right circle. Now center point, down low near side. Jay centering pass off of Garrett and in behind the net. Garrett finds his way to the puck and outlets to White Duck. White Duck to Lopez over his stick, out to center. Near side, Lopez flying in on a hit against Johnson. It will be back into the hat-trick zone. C-Dot out of the net to play it. Daniluk. The breakout. Garrett chips ahead all the way at the blue line. Glove down by Johnson. At the hat-trick's line, Atwell tips that puck. It goes in the air. He bats it forward with his hand. Hat-trick's control. Finberg up to Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov across the line, right circle. His snapper is stopped by Henning. It goes behind the net. Bonnell. Kuznetsov out in front. Wraparound score! Dmitry Kuznetsov, his fourth goal in 2 games, took the puck. Gordy Bonnell had it behind the net. Kuznetsov just walked right out in front. His backhand went inside that far post. Harney couldn't cover it, and with 17:24 to go in the game, the Hat-tricks extend the lead to 2.
It's a pretty play right there. Goal scorer's goal. He's in the right place at the right time. He's by the side of the net. Puck squirts free. He picks it up, shows the quick hands, and a quick finish past Harney. That is a really big goal there by Kuznetsov. As you said, 4 goals in his first 2 games.
Hat-tricks right back in on the offense. Daniluk up into the slot. It's off a body high in the air. Found by the Prowlers and outletted up the right side. Kilcheski first to it for the Hat-tricks. 3 minutes into the game, into the period. Now Henning settles down. Up to Lawrence, tips into the Hat-trick zone. Kuznetsov's 4th of the year. The Hat-tricks up 2. Across into the slot. And it will be taken by Port Huron at center ice.
Bonnell gets the only assists on the goal at 2:36.
Atwell across. Now Mealy turns it over in the slot. Fired by the Prowlers, and it went wide of the net. And the Hat-tricks right back down into the Port Huron zone. Crawford with the shot. Now Manzo right up the ice, right to left, out in front, walking his way in, and the right pad from C-Dot, and the second chance, it hops over C-Dot and in. Wow, what a sequence. C-Dot made a sensational save on the first time, and then the second chance just popped over him as he was prone on the ice. 16:13 to go in the third. The Prowlers get one back. It's 3-2 Hat-trick.
Great save by C-Dot. Kenny Garrett couldn't keep up with his man. He looked a little gassed, and he was beaten cleanly to the net. And C-Dot made a great sprawling save, and then just a chip at the puck, and it just fluttered into the net. Just made it over the goal line, and we're back to a 1-goal game.
Right back into the Hat-trick zone. 4 minutes into the third. Daniluk up the right wing to Lopez. Lopez getting the legs moving through center ice. Lopez hammers in deep to the far side. Farsad after it there. Farsad behind the net. Leaves it. Lopez behind. Third line out there for the Hat-tricks now. Lopez, Farsad, and Finberg. They'll change. Get that top line out there. Actually, they'll be the second line with the Mealies and Anderson. Mealies in their own zone now. Kilcheski hard into the corner against Lambden. Able to seal him in there. And the cross-ice feed has a delayed call against the Hat-tricks coming up. It's back to the point. Johnson tip try just wide from Graham. And the Hat-tricks touch up in the corner.
Well, the goal came at 3:17. It was Austin Federley, his first of the season. Nick Manzo gets the only assist. 1-goal game, and now at 4:42, Port Huron will go to their 5th power play of the night. They are 0 for 4 to this point. But remember, they scored 3 power play goals in last night's 7-5 loss to Danbury. So they had that potent first power play unit and a big, big moment in this game here in the third period with Danbury leading 3-2.
Hat tricks win the face-off, clear up the boards, and out down the length of the ice. All the way down, and Harney out of his